Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. It is Thursday evening, and we are here to talk random bollocks for 2 hours and for you lot to maybe listen. How's everybody doing?
Wait, do we have a new order now?
Oh, yeah, we might need to think about that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. Pre-planning is a bitch. Never mind. How are we, boys?
We're here.
This is
That's
as
good as it gets.
Dan, okay, so Dan, you go. You go, Dan.
Well,
you go, Dan.
yeah.
you go, Dan.
Over here? We're here. I think that's what counts, right?
Yes.
In a week that's been it's been a lot. It feels. Yeah,
it does
I can just see Hilton's eyes rolling. It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter which hemisphere you're in. It's still been a lot.
It just goes the other way.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch Eurovision this week?
No.
Why?
What is that?
Who watches Eurovision?
Okay, just me then. All right, fine.
It's because is this what you think that Europeans do living outside of Europe?
Yeah,
I really want
like
to be
eat
like that.
cheese, cold
cheese,
meat,
drink-
and watch Eurovision.
I can see we're
And
getting
casually be
off the right
racist about each other.
Yes, always casually casual racism. No. I can see we're doing fantastically. Who have we got in the chat today? Phil, thank you very much for joining us. As always, you are always welcome. We've got Double M Dave. That's one Dave down, 3 to go. Derek's joining us.
No, there's like 36 of them.
There's like, okay, fine, whatever. Charlie's joining us. Ori's here. Oliver's here. Morwood, Aaron. Thank you very much for everybody for joining us. Lukash is here as well. Yes, there is no Robert tonight. Unfortunately, he's not feeling very well, so he's decided to take the evening off. Imbecile. Annie is here as well. Hey, Annie. Yeah, so we're here, just us. But we have Dan back with us. Dan, hello again.
Yes. I was dragged here kicking and screaming.
He's being
I have no
not
idea.
again. He begged us.
Exactly. It was just it was like last week. You know, I was sat there thinking, need some more charisma, right, boys? Text you. They're like, no, we're doing fine without you. And then came the call. It's like, oh no, I've bitten off more than I can chew.
Yes, once again, the Brummy misses out on the laughter.
That was not meant to stick, by the way.
Oh, it's gonna stick. It's gonna stick.
I guarantee you, he's fuming right now.
So much so that he stropped off just as I've appeared.
That's it.
Yeah, ironic, isn't it?
The audience is going to start
Timing.
thinking that we're one and the same.
They don't see.
I don't think they're going to think you're the same. Somehow, I don't think they're going to think you're the same.
No, I don't think that's how it works. What about you, Hilton? How are you? All good?
I am good. Busy, but good. Very. Yeah, it's been a week. I got a new car. I'm so excited. Like, first time I've ever bought a car, like, out of the box, if you will. So, very excited about that.
Does it have new car smell?
It does. It's actually not a good smell, though, if I'm honest with you.
Evening, Tom.
It's like too manufactured. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a nice leather smell or something. It's like a, I don't know, chemical smell. So maybe it's not a good thing. I hope it is, because it was a lot of money.
Dave is asking, is the car 1-to-1 scale?
Yes, it's 1-to-1 scale.
King, it's
I sacrificed a lot of 37s in there. Please.
Aaron, you're stirring the pot already.
I don't have to talk about that yet, but that's pre-watershed.
No, that's pre-watershed. We are counting that entire genre of conversation watershed.
Exactly. Yeah. It was funny the first time, but Hilton's made it clear that blue tank engines are off
limits.
Yeah.
If looks could kill.
They probably will.
Yes. I'll just end up with him on my doorstep one day, just hack.
Yeah. with a night owl.
It might be the only way I get it. It might be the only way I get it.
Come on down, brother. Come on down.
Hilton, I have to tell you, Rob's package landed this morning, so
Okay,
it's
has it
going to
been
be here
delivered?
before yours.
Has it been delivered yet?
No.
Okay,
If you have that much trust in DHL, I would love to know who
I
you're talking
do.
to.
I do have that much trust in DHL. They are amazing. DHL have like low-key kind of one of my favorite companies ever. So
Okay.
I sense a story.
I sense a story.
I sense a story.
Are we going
There's
to
no,
give a
there's no
story?
real story to
One
it.
of my
No.
favourite
It's
companies ever.
they
And the
just
reason
they
is
just
are so cheerful in yellow.
yeah, exactly.
They don't lose my 37s.
happy, lovely people.
At the risk
Thank
of
you,
digression, DHL just makes me think of Takuma Sato binning it every single time he saw an F1 circuit. So that whole first year, it's like, we've got a new sponsor, and by God, we're going to need him.
Like,
There you go.
I said this to you when we first saw it, Hilton. It looks straight out of like animated Lord of the Rings. It looks so good.
Mountains, Gandalf.
Mountains, Gandalf.
Well, they go around the corner now as well.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to see that.
Spoilers. It's not there.
And is that Hagrid I can see on one of your mountains in the back scene?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. That's Hagrid.
Wow.
This
Cross
freaking
dimensional.
guy.
We'll see a Wookiee later.
Why did we invite him back?
I have no idea. No idea.
Dan, are you playing bingo tonight?
He
I'm
brought some
not.
ideas.
I haven't prepared for it because I believe there's a new game afoot, isn't there?
There is a new game afoot, and people will find out quite soon.
Woo! It's gonna be fun.
So,
And
what have
scary.
what have you guys been up to modeling wise this week?
Dan?
Me?
Yeah.
Nothing. Literally nada, zilch, nothing.
Oh, okay.
It's but to fill people in, I was unexpectedly taken to hospital last week and in there for an entire day, and I've spent the last week or so just putting myself back together. I've been back in work this week, but energy's been quite low, so yeah, not much by the way of modeling at all. Yeah, but also I don't have a YouTube schedule. I didn't impose that on myself. I don't have to make a video every weekend.
You do now.
Or every Wednesday.
Or every Wednesday.
No. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
What modeling
you
have
get
you
some-
done this week that you can't talk about because it's going to be in your video at the weekend?
I mean, I can't, so let's just move right along.
Okay, fine.
What did you do last week? Because there wasn't a video last week, was there?
Dude, I have not, I'm not gonna lie, I've been so busy, I've barely spent time down here. And when I have, it's not been enough that I feel like it justifies a video. So like I've tried to kind of make up a little bit of time in terms of like what I've done to make it be a little bit more meaty, if you will.
I think we should turn this question on James now, because I think we're in danger of having a full house. Have you actually done any modeling this week, James?
I have.
Oh no. Get out.
I have done some modeling this week. So I am in the process of sound fitting.
If it's Great Western stuff, it doesn't count as modeling.
I am in the process of sound fitting an LMS 3F with a HM7000.
What sound profile are you using?
4F.
Okay.
Owner's choice.
So I'm curious,
fair enough.
why the alien machine from quite another line?
Because my friend who has a massive scale model of Coventry in progress runs LMS.
It's not his.
Yeah, it's not
his.
right, okay.
It's not mine. So he has.
He wouldn't do it willingly.
He has a fleet of about 30.
This LMS goods engine. It isn't even a passenger engine.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. There will be some LMS on my line eventually, but spoilers. But no, my friend has about 30 LMS locomotives that need DCC sound fitting, CVs adjusting, all of that jazz, and he is nowhere near prepared to do it himself. So this is the next one. If you've seen one of my latest reels on Instagram, I had this at speed step 1, and it was so damn smooth.
It was mint. It was mint, dude. Absolutely mint. Yeah.
So yeah, really happy with this one so far. So I've just got to put it back together and give it back to him. I've also got the King working really, really nicely. I did some CV tweaking, and she's an absolute beauty. So I need to get her off to do some proper runs on my friend's layout with some coaches behind her coming up very soon. And I blew up a PCB.
Oh, nice one, dude. It's been a great week.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been an expensive week. Huh?
What was the PCB from?
So this is a PCA 9685 servo driver. So this powers and allows commands to be sent to little servos.
Right, okay.
And I have no idea what happened. It just stopped working, and when I was doing some testing, the current is going to all the wrong places. So I had to buy a new one.
Damn, sorry, man.
No, it's not so bad. £7. Could be worse. But there we are. What about you guys? Let us know in the chat what you guys have been doing this week. I see Phil's done some ballasting and some lining.
Nice.
Oliver,
good job.
Oliver has our first question, which we will get to quite soon. I
see the polished.
Rob's in the chat.
Rob is in the chat.
Is that?
I have never claimed to be a Sparky. I have never claimed that, so don't pin that on me.
Amazon electrician.
Is that what you do at Amazon, James? You're just a guy in like the maintenance unit downstairs.
Yeah. Honestly, that would be great compared to what I actually do.
Damn. Okay.
Anyway,
we don't come on here to talk about our employers.
Yeah, this is true.
No, we don't.
That's off limits. Speaking of that, shall we move on to the news?
Oh,
the news!
No, it's not like anything exciting has happened in the last week.
News!
Do you know what's even better? Is I've opened this up in my iPad so I can see the comment stream, and when Hilton went the news like that, I looked down and he did it again, like literally on perfect delay on the screen below, but muted. It was just like having two of them.
Everyone's excited. Look, it's the news, guys.
Everyone. Apparently, Charlie and Rob claim to be. Oh wait, no. There's 4 people. 4 people find it exciting. This is great. There's news. Yes, Dave. There is news.
I suppose. Okay, so the thing we need to talk about is obviously going to be the narrow gauge thing that has been recently announced. So should we just get on with it?
I think we should.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
So exciting. Here we go.
Oh.
Meter gauge. Finally, the clock in N-gauge. I really cannot wait for this one. To be honest, I have got my order in already. I didn't look at how much it's going to cost, and I don't care. It's one of those bucket list items. But I believe Kato are doing it with sound as well, and with a coach pack, as well as the loco on its own. But
Dan, you were just talking about this the other day, like
I know,
not a month ago.
I didn't. There was no visual. I was not prepared, and I just wanted to talk about it.
Here we are.
Amazing. It was mentioned already.
Like a long time ago.
There wasn't a picture, and I like Dan, so I allowed this one. I let it slip through.
But I heard that people are excited about narrow gauge this week, and this must be it. This is the only narrow gauge thing of any note that's been announced in the last, I don't know, since those
I don't know. Yeah.
About.
Is there anything?
L&B
is there
things.
anything else?
I can't think of anything. Can you think of anything?
I don't know. Chat, what about you?
Oh, what are they saying in chat? Look.
Like
Matt says that's cool.
Like CBBs, like What about you guys?
What about you?
Got
guys?
anything to share?
Just go full Blues Clues mode.
Oh, yeah. Well, now we've covered narrow gauge. Should we move on to standard gauge?
Yeah.
All right.
Hilton, what is
the best thing about these is they've got a green buffer beam on the brake. It's like the colors are inverted, like the body's black and the buffer beam's green.
I didn't notice that.
I think that's really cool, to be honest.
Yeah,
it is. It's like, you know, it's a bit trippy, inverted.
Yes, Dave, they are O scale. So they are 7mm. So these are the Southern Railway Stroudley four-wheeled coaches.
Stroudley, yeah.
The Southern livery was recently announced. I know they're doing a few more liveries, you know, Browns and other LBSC styles, but this was recently announced. I think the recommended retail is 150.91 pre-lit, but you can get them at your retailers at a discount. Although, is this an exclusive to a certain shop? I don't know.
It's the first I've heard of them. I know they did them in LBS delivery before.
All right, okay.
But I don't really know much about them. They seem to have flown under the radar in a way for me. But I guess I don't follow Ready to Running O-Gauge that much.
Finally, Rob was here.
No, I know. If only Rob was here, he could tell us.
Moving on.
Moving on. So Aaron is reminding us that some Scarlowy stock. We're not talking about that until after 9 o'clock. That doesn't count.
He's on about the Talis Lynn coaches.
He's on about is it?
Yeah, to go with the Talis Lynns from Bachmann USA.
Right, okay. Because I know they did. Did they do a dual launch? Because they
did Talis Lynn in 3 liveries before.
Oh, okay.
And the other coaches, I think, have arrived with stockists. I think, from what I've seen.
Saw something about slate wagons as well, but I'm not sure if that's particularly Taliclin or Chorus, or if that was the other thing.
So this is the thing. Is from my understanding, is that the Talis Lynn slate wagons are done by Pico, I think, and then the Talis Lynn ones are done by Bachmann. Pico do the FR ones. That's it.
Right. Okay.
The right way round. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, let us know.
But yeah, I'm sure it's one or the other.
Right. Well, I mean, either way, something got announced that might be okay.
It
might be suitable. Since we've mentioned the 009 narrow gauge, we have to talk about the elephant in the room.
These.
Yeah, these things. So this is the latest announcement from Rapido. Very interesting entry into the 009 market with what's this, 8 different liveries of
very cool
a locomotive. It is very cool. I do particularly love this red lined locomotive. I think it looks great. This is is it Serda? It's a Kerr Stewart Serda.
Yeah.
But I think they look absolutely fantastic. I love the interchangeable or potentially interchangeable, if you can wangle it, details so you can make the locomotive your own.
I think that's very cool.
The broadness of the liveries, I think it's absolutely fantastic. You're looking at 139.95 DCC ready and 179.95 sound fitted. But I think the biggest bit of this all is they've partnered with 4Ds, so a well-known 3D printed manufacturer company in the 009 world. And they're selling the chassis only, which is insane, I think. At $74.99 each, to be able to just go and buy a chassis and then go and buy a body specifically. And I think the range looks fantastic. I didn't get a picture. I'm sorry to say I didn't get a picture of the upcoming range. But there's like 10 different bodies already that are in the process of being done. And supposedly a lot more are in progress. So very, very exciting announcement from them. Almost tempted me with some of the wagon packs that came out, but I'm waiting for other things. So
I think this is an incredibly sound offering from Rapido off the bat. I must say, I'm super, super impressed with this option. I definitely will be picking one of these up without a doubt, because I can convert it to a South African NG1 if I want to now. I had a long chat with Dan, and he was like, "This is a stupid idea. Shut up, Hilton." And I was like, "Okay, fine, all right, never mind." But I really do think Rapido have come in strong. They really have.
I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting a single locomotive, and for them to go, okay, so we've done a single locomotive. There's already rolling stock out there, and we'll maybe, if interest is good, we might do some other stuff later in the year and announce some other stuff we've had on. I was not expecting a narrow lines range, and I think that's absolutely knocked the hobby into a spin, and I'm looking forward to the future of Rapido 009.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, have you got anything to contribute while you've got your face buried in that book?
I was going to say you.
Sorry, I'm just waiting for you to finish. That's all.
This isn't reading corner.
Sorry, I'm just working out what model railways are.
I remember that book.
Oh, this book is the best.
That's a great book.
It is a great book. Have you got a copy of this, Hilton?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I bet that's still at my grandmother's house.
Yeah. It has some wonderful drawings in it, like of a room that I'm never going to afford to own.
It's the internet before the internet.
Yes. Exactly that. Anyway, you're done?
Yeah, we're going to move on now.
Okay.
So, Acura Scale have announced that they are out of stock. They have completely sold it. Well, they haven't got stock anyway,
already.
But they have completely sold out on pre-order of the Wilbur DCC ready and DCC sound fitted. So if you didn't get it, they'll probably reopen the books and get some more in, because why not? I bet they can.
They will.
I suspect they can just reopen it. So if you didn't get it, just wait a little bit, put your notifications on, and I don't think you'll have to wait long. Now to the last bit of news.
Oh,
good news, everyone!
Good news, everyone! I've been binge watching Futurama recently. It's been freaking great. We have a little announcement to make. Since Rob isn't here, I was going to make him do it, but I think I'll make Hilton do it. Hilton.
Oh dear.
Why?
Because I like throwing people under the bus.
Right. All right. Okay. Well, the shunting yard is, it's always been a 4-man operation. Dude, I don't know how to do this. We decided to add the only option we really have.
Thanks. Cheers, then.
To the stream. Welcome, Dan.
Hey.
Hello again, Dan.
With this brand, it's flipping heavy.
Yeah, so
Dan is joining us. Oh, I'm not done.
Oh God. Okay, carry on.
Sorry.
Dan, let's have a toast.
It's to Dan.
Dan.
Dan. Welcome to the team. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the only photo we have of you. But
oh well.
Anyone in their right mind can look left of the screen and see you. So it's fine. Whatever. We're very, very happy to have you on board, Dan. We thoroughly enjoyed our episode with you a couple of weeks ago.
All of our followers waving at their screens. Everybody wave back. Hi.
Hi, Dan.
Oh.
Yeah, so
we have to go with the narrow gauge theme. And
oh God, you look absolutely miserable there.
That was a really fun day, actually. But
you look like you're having a great time.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely brilliant.
You got something on your face.
Yeah.
What's this stubble here?
I'd just been.
This is not this is normal. I'm not about this.
This is the I prepped an engine and then I've been put on the brake van face.
I don't know. It looks like this is Wales' face. I don't know, man.
Wow.
No. Okay. Right. That's the end of that.
That's the end
There
of the
you
news.
go. Any opening?
You should get Dan to introduce himself. Jake.
Yes, I was going to say, Dan. Any opening words?
Oh, I'm Dan. These people invited me on for some reason a couple of weeks ago. They decided I have enough charisma to come back over and over and over again when Rob's not available. There we go. That's all you need to know.
There you go. Problem solved. Problem solved.
Yes. And hi, Tom. I met you at Key Model World and ordered one of your cottages. You probably don't remember, but hi. Yes. Yeah. Next bit.
Problem.
Okay,
so
4 minutes because the news was allotted until 5:30.
We've got 4 minutes. We've got 4 minutes.
Does anybody have any further news?
Any further news that we should know about, and we can mention while we're doing that? We've got the first 2 questions of the week. So Hilton, when you getting a certain red GWR forecast?
You're a modeler, Hilton.
I'm a what? He's already got it ready. Look, he's already got it ready.
Oh, that's this weekend's video, isn't it?
It's here.
I can tell you from my own experience because I did spend a week up there at one point volunteering on the Jacobite, and the driver we had allotted for the week, he said that one of the best engines he had driven on the West Island extension was Alton Hall. He said its ability to start a train was so much better than the Black 5. It would just literally.
Oh my god! Shut
the
up,
difference between Stevenson's and full charts.
Thanks, Ollie. I'm glad I could stick around.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Probably won't see much of it though.
Rob, no, we did not mention the 55XX from Lionheart.
Why don't you just call it the 5500?
Because you aren't here.
Oh, what do you mean? I am here.
No, Rob isn't here to mention it.
Oh, but no, I'm saying why don't you call it the 5500?
Fine, it's a 5500 class, but it's not a class; it's a subclass.
Okay, but XX.
I don't even know what a 5500 is. Is he talking about a 4575?
It's a 4570. It's a 4575 that was numbered 5500 and upwards.
Oh no, we're giving Hilton a knowledge.
We broke Hilton. Even.
Dude, you guys are such nerds. Oh.
And speaking of, Dave is asking, who's got bingo cards this week? If you have bingo cards in the chat, let us know. And it's first person to say bingo. You get a fictional cookie. That's about it. I'm going to kick you all off.
Oh.
What?
Dan
was saying that the sippy cup needs to be part of the bingo card, so I made sure to have at least one sip of it.
I don't know. Things are not landing tonight, apparently.
No, I think we're all just tired.
Yeah, I think so. Drink more.
Maybe. Drink more. Drink more. Drink more.
Have some more of your Pepsi, Dan. Let's get a sugar rush at the watershed.
Yeah, need the sugar.
Definitely need sugar.
Gotta need the sugar.
So, Ori is asking, what's the theme of the stream today? Well, I thought it would have been obvious. So I'm going to apologize because I didn't put the thumbnail up properly.
Yeah,
so
I think that apology needs to be more sincere after Hilton did such a brilliant job of it.
He did a great job. So to provide that extra, here is everybody so you can see what this week's thumbnail is.
Loading. I spent so much time on this. So much time on this.
Dan, since the idea was semi yours, do you want to walk us through what should happen today?
Basically, the three of us have nominated or come up with 3 eras to talk about each. And they've all been put on a spinny wheel. And James is going to spin the wheel. And we're going to have to talk for a few minutes about whichever era it lands on. So some of us are prepared for what you suggested and could do some of each other's. But some of us will be like rabbits in headlights, Hilton. And that's where the entertainment will lie. But of course, if Hilton is struggling, or me, or James, feel free to put comments in and try and help us along with these things.
Basically, we're going to talk about a bunch of eras today and just compare them and, talk
find
smack,
out which is best.
We need some background music.
Is it not loud enough?
I can't hear anything.
How about now?
Wow, it feels like I'm in an elevator.
That's the
I
point.
Can't hear anything. Hold on, let me adjust. I've got no... Okay, right, never mind.
Whatever. Okay, Charlie, we'll work on it. Okay, we'll work on it.
The only thing we didn't work out is who's going to go first.
No, we have not. So to decide that...
He's got another spinny wheel.
Well, maybe to decide it, if you spin it and whoever's suggestion it lands on first. So if it was one of mine, I have to go first.
I think that's how we have to.
Yeah, and then you spin to start.
Right, are we ready?
Oh, I hate this. Hate this game. Oh, it's even got a sound, like a drum roll. No.
Is that Hilton first?
Hilton.
Yes. What's he going to talk about?
Let's go.
We know it's Hilton. And what's Hilton going to talk about?
No, I get to decide who talks about this.
Okay.
Are we going to do that, are we?
You want to do it that way?
Because
guys, are we just going to randomly mouth off an essay about something? I'm going to lose my mind. I cannot do this.
And you just thought of saying that now. I think
okay. East Coast.
Surely it'd be best if you just literally spin it one more time, and then whatever it lands on, Hilton has to talk about.
Okay.
I think that's
is that the
no?
So we've decided
absolutely not.
We've decided Hilton is going first. I have not adjusted the probability of this.
I think you have. I think you might have.
No,
I think you might have. I think you might have. Spin it again.
Hey.
Hey. Oh.
Hey.
Oh, there we go.
I can do this.
Okay.
I can do this.
So this was one of the topics that I put to the table. So we're gonna have a conversation on modern continental locomotives.
Damn. I mean, the whole thing was themed around the eras, and then you come in with continental locomotives.
Well, yeah, but modern.
So we're basically just going to talk about how Marklin is better than everyone.
No.
I wonder if that ACDC thing counts as a modern continental locomotive.
I don't think it does.
Okay,
right.
I'm defining modern as anything from the 2000s onwards.
Okay.
I think you're going to need some help, right?
No, I need to try. I need to try because I've literally never been to Europe, but I will try. All I know is that right, Europe has railways, and for the most part, they're run a lot better than British railways. They're all connected to Germany in some way, thanks to the Second World War. And am I wrong? Am I wrong? And as a result, Germany makes some of the best, thanks to companies like Siemens and Bosch and I don't know anymore. There's a TGV and it goes around the continent.
Yep, come on, help him out, guys. Help him out, guys.
I believe France and I don't know what to say.
Oh.
Stadler, thank you, Rinka. Yeah, they're one of the really good manufacturers in Europe. Of course, alongside Bosch, who make the drills that drill the Stadlers. So, guys, I don't know what to say about this.
So, I'm going to start calling out things that the chat mentions, but good effort. I thought I was going to stump somebody with this one. I was hoping it wouldn't be me, so I'm good with this.
I'm relieved that it's off the table now.
It is also off the table. I can remove it. You are perfectly right. Remove. Yeah. There we go. So,
I kind of want to hear Dan talk about it though.
Annie says, think Hilton needs another whiskey. Well, we're going to do that. So that's the idea. The idea is that the first person fumbles it, and then the other two try and pick it up while the chat, just fills in the pieces.
I love how we're making this up as we go along.
That's the best way to do it, I think. This is your poll. We were set to go. We had a topic. We had a topic we were going to talk about for 2 hours that didn't need a 2-hour conversation. Then you came in on our first meeting.
It was supposed to be in the news and it wasn't. And we had 4 minutes to put it in and now we're only just remembering.
Can't put tariffs into 4 minutes.
You can't put tariffs into 4 minutes.
You can. It was a problem 2 weeks ago and now it's not anymore.
Well,
the big orange is orange. The tangerine.
The annoying orange.
Yeah. You've got to be careful what you say because if you ever go on holiday there, you get refused entry for saying something once 20 years ago. It's the truth.
Are you speaking from experience, Dan?
Last time I went to the States was about 3 years ago, and when I went through the the passport, the immigration control, they said, so when were you last here? I said summer 2001, and they said, why is it taking you so long to come again? And I went, because I'm scared. And she stared at me, and I went, of flying. We don't like jokes about 2001 here. It's like, it's not a joke. I just don't like flying very much.
Jeez, Dan, you're lucky you got in, to be honest.
I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
Right, back to topic. So I'm showing here a locomotive that Lukasz mentioned, which is the ET25 Dragon. It looks like a locomotive.
It sounds cool. It looks cool.
I like this livery.
I think they all look pretty good.
I like this one as well. Look, it's got Mountains Gandalf.
Isn't that Swiss? I don't know. Oh, it looks Polish.
It looks Polish.
That's the Polish eagle, right?
I was going to say Polish eagle, white and red.
Yeah, I don't know. So, Lukasz, help us out.
Yeah. Thanks, Lukasz. What else have we got here? Stadler. What's a Stadler when it's at home? If I Google this and it. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's got GBRF Class 99.
Except we should call it the Dragon.
But this isn't the Dragon.
Of course, though. Talking about 68.
Dragon sounds cooler, so. Okay. James, tell us about European locomotives, other than that.
I mean, there are a lot of Siemens, diesel and diesel and electric locomotives. Quite a few hybrids that are on the main network. Mostly run on the OBB, which is the most of the ones that I see are on the OBB, which is the Austrian and German transit network. But also being in Slovakia, I see a lot of diesel and electric ZSSK, Slovak Railways, Czech Railways. So I don't see much. I was hoping to see a Euro Plus 66 because apparently there's one in the region and I haven't seen it yet, so I'm still looking. But yeah, what else is there to say about this was a trick one. This was the one that was supposed to trip whoever was talking about it up. And
I don't know. You seem pretty tripped up about it too. I think I did a pretty damn good job.
That's the point.
Is that so you're talking about continental locomotives, modern continental locomotives.
Modern continental locomotives. So we've got Class 66.
So modern engines within that era built on the continent and running here include the 68s, which are absolutely hellfire. I'm not really into diesels, but I used to live next to the Chiltern Main Line on a stretch of line that was 90 mile an hour, and every so often you just hear them rumbling past. And where I currently live, it doesn't feel right not hearing them go past every so often. But the best part about them all was they had a fleet of about 5 or 6 engines, from what I can understand, and some of them were called things like Intrepid or Avenger, or these sorts of brilliant names. And then there was just one called Oxford Flyer. Just kind of like, what a dreary name. I mean, it's like the dreariest of all the Chiltern destinations.
It's exciting for the English, though, isn't it?
Should it be called like, I don't know, Dorridge Flyer or something like that? That would have been much better. Solihull Flyer, Birmingham Express.
No, don't entertain that. Take it down.
I guess also another thing that we're missing, which brings it back to models in another way, is that it's technically not a locomotive, but flirts. Flirts are all over Europe, and now they're all over East Anglia, like maggots, just sort of like wriggling their way across out of Liverpool Street and all over Suffolk and Norfolk and bits of Essex. And Hornby makes one. There we go.
And Hornby makes one, but they're maggots.
Hornby makes a maggot. I mean, it looks like a very detailed maggot, but they do look like maggots.
I don't feel like they do much for me, if I'm honest. I'm not really excited by them. So
no.
But the model does look pretty cool.
The models always look
Guys, I don't know if this game is going to work. I'm not going to lie.
It's probably not good, but we're going to carry on anyway.
So who's
the
up
Yam
next?
Express, I hate flirts. We're going to go anti-clockwise from my direction, which means you.
Oh, I'm
next. Of course he wants to go last.
Of course he does.
All right, spin the wheel.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Spin the wheel.
Oh
no!
That's a fix.
This is a fix. Do we allow this? Do we allow this? We have to have at least one conversation in the stream where somebody knows what they're actually talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Whatever. That's cool.
I put this in because I was waiting for Hilton to talk about all the interesting Great West engines, or to get James to talk about them, because I know that James in the era is way too late. But of course, the Edwardian era has all the best Great Western engines and the Great Bear, but it has all the best ones from France, including La France, the first engine to pull the Cornish Riviera Express non-stop to Plymouth. Excellent. Yeah, it's an era full of things where we don't really have any models for anything, so the manufacturers need to sort it out.
I completely agree.
Don't you kind of do a lot of this?
Yeah, I was going to say, like...
Yeah.
Are you,
yeah.
So, are you poking the Great Bear?
So City of Truro, the model that Batman have done, is of it post 1912, so with the longer smoke box, with the superheater. So the original City is within that era, but the model is not. It's a later era model, so doesn't count, I'm afraid.
So if you just kind of like take where one of the boiler bandings are and you kind of cut it a little bit and then you just glue it on, would that be more accurate?
Yeah, it'd need a new smoke box altogether. And then
share
other
a picture
details.
recently.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, it's one of those things of it makes sense. Perfect sense why they made the model they did. Because nobody really models this era. That's why it's a good era to model.
Yeah, it sounds great. No stock, no availability. It sounds brilliant.
But it's growing. It's growing.
It's great to be individual.
I completely agree with that. I do think we're hitting we're definitely hitting a point in modeling right now where we're going quite far back. So that's really cool.
I mean, I think part of the reason I'm here is I seem to remember a while back just flicking through YouTube, and it suggested a video from this random pokey YouTube channel where this plucky guy came along and made the case for various engines, including Edwardian engines of this ilk, saying that manufacturers should make them. And yeah, it was
sounds like a good channel to watch.
Probably was, yeah.
Probably was
a good channel to watch.
What is that?
I don't know if it still exists or not.
No.
What is that? Lukash just sent this in the Discord, by the way. It's that
is brilliant.
Great Western.
It's like they wanted to make an 040 tank engine and then realized that they needed to put something to stop the cylinders from hitting the track.
Right. Like, where would how does that work?
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I think it's really
like it a lot.
A lot of character. Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. I like the way how it's got the third fireman, like the little platform to exile him, in front of the cab.
Bad job. Get in the front.
Like, you put the crew on the footplate, and then you have the little Rob's absent platform in front of the cab.
King Ori is saying I think it's a broad gauge loco converted to standard.
Probably was.
It's very possible. I want one now. Somebody please draw that up and 3D print it for me. There was Ned Flanders there for some reason.
Yeah. We've got a license for that, right?
No. The YouTube police are going to kill me. Either an Armstrong or Dean design. I mean,
to be fair, the Oxford Dean Goods is a good model, and that's within the era. So
I really need to get one of those. I keep getting told good things about them.
Yeah, I've got one. It's good. I would recommend.
It's good. Yeah, I've got one. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah,
Better than a maggot.
Hey, Peachy's here.
Yeah, that is the Atlantic. And,
hey,
yeah, I'd love to see one as well. I would really love to see one. Actually, come to think of it.
Hang on, isn't there already a 00 Atlantic? Yeah.
That's one I'm working on at the moment.
Oh
yeah.
God,
work in progress. But yeah. Buy more brake vans. If you buy more brake vans, we can maybe bring you a loco.
There you go.
That's what I can say.
There you go. Buy more brake vans.
There's my Rapido plug for the night.
That's it. No more mention. No more mention.
Yeah. Okay. Has anybody else got anything to add before we move on to an era that everybody actually knows things about?
Well, I don't know. You say that. We still haven't mentioned, you know, the Pacific that never was, or the 280 Pacific that never was, the Great Bear, which somebody needs to make.
I suppose
that thing could have been glorious.
Yeah. I'm trying to think when it came about.
Dan, a question. If you could get anyone to make the Great Owl, the Great Bear, the Great Owl.
The Great Owl. I think that would
be a
brilliant owl. Is that the Great Western 282? The Great Owl.
The Great Owl, yeah.
It pulls more Night Owl stuff.
Dan, if you
okay, we're throwing this out to the audience. If you can make that, put it in the Facebook group called, what's it? British Locomotives That Never Were, or whatever it's called.
The Great Owl.
The Great Owl.
282.
Yeah, Great Western 282. I'm interested
Alright,
to see
so
what
Dan.
portions people come up with.
Back to my question. If you could get anyone to make the Great Bear, who would it be?
I could get anyone to make it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a silly question. Get one of my colleagues to do it.
Okay, if you could choose anyone that wasn't Rapido, who would you get to do it?
Oh, it would probably be Bachman.
Bachman!
Are you trying to get him fired?
It'll always be Bachman. Just brand loyalty over the years.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it doesn't come from a place of like design preference. It would just be Bachman because you like them.
Bachman because I like them.
Okay, James, let's try something a little bit more
hang on.
I don't know, objective.
Hang on. Aaron, how dare you suggest such a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just because they stick with one-off designs does not mean they would do it well.
You know,
I
feel
put
like
a caveat in there. When I say Bachman, I don't mean EFE. I mean actual Bachman.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
EFE.
You're far too proper to not say the wrong manufacturer's name. So.
No, I mean some people kind of think they're one and the same, and really they're not.
Sure. You know, sorry. Going back to Aaron's point, I don't think KR need to be thrown under the bus, so to speak. It's. I think they've had a bit of a bad run, but you know, let's hope that they come back stronger with the Licky Banker and stuff. You know.
Have you got one on order to review?
No.
Have you got anything?
No, I'd never do that.
That means buy a KR model. Yeah. Okay, so this is the thing is now everyone in the chat, please. We're going to start a crowdfund to get Hilton a KR models engine of some description for him to review for us. If you want to see that, then please put it in the comments.
Easy. I really, Dan, I do not call them reviews very specifically. So let's just turn it back.
Go buy him a coffee or whatever it is he's got on his thing, so he can go and do an overview.
Yeah, you nearly said it too.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No.
You did. Okay, sorry. Let's get back on track.
Peachy is throwing a question at us before we move to a different topic. What does the gang thing feel here about Stam's desertion to another scale?
Which scale has he deserted to?
TT120.
TT.
He's selling off all of his 00 stock, and I think I knew in one of the recent episodes where he was mentioning that he'd moved stuff away and started to move his desk, and I was like, but you've just put it together, like you've just done that, like what's going on? Like, and then suddenly suddenly the cogs started going, and I thought he was really praising that TT120 announcement, which is fair because we were praising it as well. It was a really good announcement, and I think he's just been bitten by it, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
So go with the younger model, Sam. Not gonna lie, I thought it was going to be 009.
I think his move is like a smart one in the long run. I've chatted to him quite a bit about it, and I think obviously he's had quite a lot of chats with Peachy guiding him into the world of TT120. And I think that given what Sam likes, like EMUs, DMUs, and a lot of like city running, it makes total sense given the space that he has. He's got a lot of running space now with TT120, and I think overall it's a really smart move to jump into that, and it's as an early adopter. So good luck, Sam. I hope it goes well too.
I guess while we're on the subject of TT120, because it's not going to cover on the spinny wheel, but what's the best era to model in TT120? With everything that's currently available or announced, what would be your era?
It's modern.
And you have to stick strictly to your era. You cannot go and move around what you're doing.
It's just modern. Or maybe not modern, maybe 90s, because they've got, HSTs? So you got the Intercity Swallow HST. You can have your Flying Scotsman on a rail tour. What else would you need?
I'd say my wild card would be to do York in the 1970s because you got your Deltics, you have 37 soon, but your HSTs, and as you say, you got Flying Scotsman.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's pretty decent actually.
There you go, Dan. Scale model of TT-120 York Station.
York Station. Yeah, I'm just an idea man. You don't think I'm actually going to
and you got Flying Scotsman because you have to have Flying Scotsman. So
I don't have Flying Scotsman. I've never owned Flying Scotsman.
Not you. I'm just saying, if you did that era, well, you can have Flying Scotsman in basically every era, and that's just great. Because everyone needs a Flying Scotsman.
You could get rid of the HSTs and do it as early 70s when Scotsman was still in America.
Ooh.
That would be a way around it.
So you don't have to buy a Flying Scotsman.
I was going to say, so you don't have to buy a Flying Scotsman. Yeah.
That is the one thing I've never seen modelled. It's that Scotsman, when it came back from America, it was dropped on the dockside and it went to go and have an overhaul, but it was steamable at that point, and they insisted on moving it by rail, and it looked really shabby, but they ran it under its own steam. I've never seen someone buy an A3 Flying Scotsman and weather it up to look like it did just after it had come back from America in its shabby state, going to. And I think that would make a really good atmospheric model if someone could pull it off.
Yeah, it's quite cool actually. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Somebody with a
came out to like cheer that it was home. So it was like.
So we got a few people saying Era 3, a few people saying Modern Image. I think they're on their way to getting a good mixture in TT120, and I wish the manufacturers luck on getting that sorted.
Great Western chaps need something there. Shame.
It needs a pannier. It needs a pannier at least.
Yeah.
So, what are you talking about then, James?
I don't know. What am I talking about? Please be something I know something a little about.
I love the drum roll. No, we've done it. You have to move on.
We haven't done 30s East Coast specifics.
Haven't we?
No.
I mean, I feel like
we have just talked about it with TT, which makes this great. Now I'm going to remove it. So it's ironic that I'm the one that gets to talk about the A1s and the A3s and the A4s.
You don't get to talk about A1s, really. Not that much.
Why not?
Because there weren't many left. They were all...
No, that's true. They were all converted by then, aren't they? I mean, they're all right. I mean, you know, one of them claims to be the first to 100, debatable. One of them claims to be the fastest steam locomotive ever, debatable.
I'll tell you what you can talk about.
But I mean, I'm not going to lie. They're great designs. They did what they were built for on the track, on the line that they were built for. You know, they just sucked everywhere else. It's a dynamometer car.
Yeah. 1930s condition.
In 1930s
I actually
condition,
love that thing so much.
They are. I
Really
definitely
nice.
need one of those.
Yeah.
Have you got one, Hill?
No, I don't.
You don't? Oh.
I actually can warrant having one of those as well, which is good. So I definitely need to pick one up if I find one.
Well, this particular one, it found its way onto the Great Western in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
I mean, arguably the best color for a coach ever.
What, teak?
I love teak.
No.
I'm with you, Bill. All the best railways use teak.
I don't know.
Paint is overrated.
You too. God. No.
Paint is for goods wagons.
No. See, no, don't like it.
Varnish.
I'm trying to be nice about the Flying Scotsman here.
Try harder.
No.
We say that
No, why
it's
do you-
the only railway to have varnished teak.
Why do you love the Flying Scotsman, James?
I absolutely love it because every winner needs a second.
Wow.
No. I'll say it again. The Pacific, the East Coast Pacifics did a wondrous job of going from London to Doncaster to Edinburgh. Good for them. Well done. They just didn't do very well anywhere else. And it's been proven.
Do you know what? I think there is a big point being missed here. You've been given 1930s East Coast Main Line, right? As your topic.
Pacifics. East Coast Main Line Pacifics.
Is it? It has to be Pacifics.
It specifically says Pacifics.
Well,
So of course I can talk about the Thompson. There was a Thompson Pacific, apparently.
Thompson's 40s.
Thompson's 40s.
Yeah,
Aaron,
I mean,
you got that wrong.
Well, I mean, you know, he just said he wanted to talk about Gresley, Thompson, Peppercorn, and Reagan.
Yes, but
So-
wasn't Gresley the only one in the 30s?
Yes, he was technically.
So-
But I'm just saying it's a fairly interesting discussion. In fact, it probably warrants its own episode on its own at some point, because
Put it in the calendar.
Thompson's designs were really cool. So
I agree
I know.
too. Put it in the calendar.
Part of the polarizing
Fine.
series.
yeah, how to alienate your audience and lose friends.
I mean, if it works, it works.
To read some Sam Martin books in order to be brushed up on the subject.
No, we do not, Phil. No, we do not. We don't need Pacifics. We did perfectly well without them. I don't know. I don't think there's much else to say on them, honestly. I don't think there's much to put into the Pacifics. You talk about the Flying Scotsman and the Mallard. That's the only one anybody knows. But those two are the only ones that anyone knows. They don't even talk about the important ones. You know, the ones that actually contributed to the designs, to the
Okay.
improvements.
So you want to talk about Pacifics that worked on the East Coast Main Line in the 30s?
Yes,
You've forgotten the best one of all, which
Flying
was probably
Scotsman.
fairly rare on bits of the East Coast Main Line, but did work on it.
A
And that, of
coronation.
course, is the Great Central A5,
Ooh.
which, of course, you know, there's that wonderful model from Sonic of it, which, yeah. I mean,
Hang on. Isn't that
if in
the
doubt, talk about chunky tank
Dreadnought?
engines, right?
It is cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I do.
It's a pity they didn't
Yeah,
make it to
it's a-
Scotland, to be fair.
It's a good looking logo.
That is
I could maybe make an excuse to pick one up just because I like it so much. But
I mean, yeah. Who doesn't like?
I mean,
Go and get one. Go and get one, Dan.
I'll go and get one of my two.
Does anyone have an A5?
And who's excited for the N-Gauge version that's coming as well, which is absolutely... You'd never think that a Great Central engine would be made ready to run an N-Gauge, let alone one of these.
No, it's insane. No, they are great.
yeah, it's a beauty. It's a beauty.
I adore it. It's probably done the most miles out of all the 00 engines I own, to be fair, because when I first got it, I heard so many horror stories that I just literally ran it, and it's just... I just can't fault it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
people
I
are
should
coming in.
Make a plan to get one.
See, I knew this was going to stir some feathers. I knew this was going to stir some feathers.
Papyrus.
So yeah, Papyrus needs a mention.
Papyrus is the one that should have been saved. The first engine to 100 miles an hour.
Completely agree. A2. It isn't that a Thompson design? Is that
He's probably meaning the Raven A2.
the
which I
Raven
think-
I haven't
A2,
visited.
which Phil is mentioning? Hello. Aw,
Annie brought me some whiskey.
you can stay. Hey,
Hello.
Annie.
Oh, hello.
You got your cameo.
Yeah, first YouTube appearance.
Where's your mic?
Wow.
No, it's there.
Oh, you're using that mic. I have to say, Hilton's been lying. because he does know what he's doing. So I'd like
Yeah.
to clear that up, please.
Thank you. You heard it here first, people.
The liar.
The woman has
She
said
can't hear
that.
you.
No, I can't hear anything.
That's going to be a meme later.
That's
No,
going to be a meme later.
Hilton does.
There you go. There's her appearance. There you go.
The meme
dropped
the meme
it.
will
Thanks,
be
love.
will be Doggo putting paw on Hilton, going, "Daddy, can we have some more whiskey, please?
Father, please. I'd like
Father,
some more
please,
whiskey.
please, sir."
I didn't know.
If I was the dog, I'd be saying, "When's the new car turning up so I can molt in it?"
It's here. Little.
Oh, is it?
Bastard just not been in it. It's like through that door. There's the.
Oh wow! Excellent.
Oh dear. More papyrus. No one's heard of Sir Nigel. No, nobody knows who Sir Nigel is.
Sir Nigel, the engine named at Marylebone in 1938 or something. I don't know. There's a photograph of it being named there, and Nigel Gresley himself looked really miffed in the photo. He's just like,
I think he looks miffed in most photos. To be
I was
fair.
gonna say he looks pretty miffed.
like he's kind of
Yeah,
done with life
he's
and
got the
everything.
original resting bitch face. He's like,
Sir
"Can I go
Nigel
home and
Gresley
stare at
Rich.
the birds yet?"
Union of South Africa, my favorite A4. You're such a suck up, Charlie.
He's
in
not.
in
He's
my
not.
timeline, you're not allowed to call it that. It's too politically sensitive. It has to be called the
Oh,
Osprey.
shut up, Dan.
It's going to be called the Osprey, does it?
We've spent 20, 30 years trying to get away from this. Please leave it alone.
Windsor Lads.
Jeez.
That's a good one. Yeah, bitter
It's just how
is
I
a very
remember
good
it being in
choice.
Scotland.
Imagine if it was called A4 Apartheid.
Oh,
Oh, gosh.
No,
But on Charlie's note, though, I absolutely love Union of South Africa, and I cannot seem for the life of me to find it. Cannot find one.
you
I
cannot
miss the
find
Daplo
one.
ones. Yeah, well, I mean, I could get the Dapple one now. I'd like
The black
something a little
label?
bit more modern. Yeah, I'd like something a little bit more modern, but like, I don't know, I don't want to shell out like 400 quid for a Dapple Black Label A4. Also, I'd prefer to get it with the double chimney. So, yeah. Anyways, let's move on.
I know, Charlie. I was being ironic just to stir the pot. So, anything more we need to discuss on those things that went
I
in
think
straight
so.
lines slightly fast?
I think it's time to put Hilton back in his misery again.
It is time
No.
to throw Hilton in the hot seat again.
Excellent.
Are we ready?
Excellent. Wait, remove? Did you remove it? Okay.
I have removed it. Thank you, Annie. We much appreciate your clarity on the situation.
Oh, come on. Oh, man.
80s. So actually, this is one I was hoping to do.
Oh, man.
Honestly,
I
so
don't
I'm
know
pretty
It'd be a
miffed.
really easy
about
one for
Wales.
Hilton.
I was going to say this should be an easy one.
So say, go on, have
Why?
a go. Why is it easy?
80s Wales.
Have a go, and then we'll fill you in as to why it was supposed to be easy.
Because there were a lot of 37s running around Wales.
I mean, you can talk about the 37s running around Wales if you want.
But I don't know what the 37s were doing. I know they were just chucking around coal, I guess.
But you can talk
There's
about
that, yeah.
37s.
And
But I mean,
steel.
like, guys, I don't have the kind of knowledge to tell you exactly what the hell was going on in Wales in the 80s. I mean, barely Scotland. Like, this is why I hate this freaking game. Like,
You agreed to it.
It's clearly working too well.
oh, man. Right. Well, I don't know. I guess. No, guys, I don't know. There were a lot of 37s running around. I chat to a couple guys who are very, fond of the Welsh sort of like railways and stuff. And, I have a barely surface level understanding of exactly what the hell was going on in Wales. So I didn't even know, like, I know Cardiff is somewhere on the coast. Like, I don't know. I can't help you.
There you are. 37s have been used to pull log trains from Aberystwyth.
In the 80s, they pulled practically everything until the sprinters arrived in the sort of about 1987.
Sounds like the chat knows a lot more. Let's just dig into that.
That's what we're doing. So actually, I thought you were going to pick out what Aaron and Dave have picked out. You could have talked about the Talaclyn, Corris, Festiniog, Vale of Rydal, all these narrow gauges that started their preservations.
Of course, is very pivotal for the 80s because in 1988 it was the last BR Steam.
Correct. They were BR Blue up until then.
Yeah, and then it. Well, actually, no.
Really? Okay.
Truck,
yeah.
It was in BR Green in a heritage livery, but it was still operated by BR at that point.
So, what loco was this?
Oh, let me show you.
The Vale of Rydal Railway. So they're 3 tank engines.
Oh, so they're technically part of BR.
Gauge. Yeah,
they were.
It was operated by BR as a
Interesting.
steam line for a further 20 years after steam finished everywhere else. And of course, to keep it relevant to models, Revolution Trains are doing a model in 009 of these engines. I don't know if they're doing the end of steam variant, but they are.
They are, and I mention it every week. This is what I'm waiting for to get into 009.
That's pretty cool, actually.
They
That's
are pretty cool. They really are.
They're engines that are 9 feet wide. So if they happen to be broad gauge engines, they would have been 37 feet wide. That's just mind blowing.
Gee. But yeah, they are lovely. They really are nice locomotives. So you could have talked about that. You've also got, the other preservation lines.
I think Hilton needs to have a trip to Wales anyway.
That was the plan, to be fair. Like, we had actually planned in like a whole loop of Wales so that I could literally, be ready for this podcast. But
Yes.
Darn you.
Yeah. So,
but alas, the Moors called me. So that's
there
where
was
I ended up.
a steam hauled freight train that went to Newport and back again in 1985 from the Severn Valley. That's what's being alluded to there. Yeah. Well, no, not in 1985. It was 1987 that Hinton Manor went onto the Cambrian for the first time, or it might be in 86. In something like 15 or 16 years or something like that.
There you are. Shout out to all the locos in Collection X.
Or Collection X.
Enlighten.
Collection X.
You don't know what Collection X is?
No.
No.
So Collection X is a collection of narrow gauge engines from all around the world that was in 2 locations. One was a farm somewhere in Surrey, I believe, and the other one is a shed just outside Aberystwyth. So when you're on the Vale of Rydal,
Oh, right.
and you go past, there's a long shed. It's full of engines that were just literally rescued from all sorts of countries around the world, including South Africa, and just dumped in this shed for potential restoration at some point.
Why
Are we
did they
saying
call it
rescued?
Collection X?
Because it was kept secret for many, many years what was in there. And people outside of thing don't actually know everything that's in there. There's some horror videos of some of the sites.
Yeah.
Where people
It's like a national secret.
Yeah.
It's like
That's why
like Area 51 of trains.
I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
considering the British history of collecting things from foreign countries and keeping it, hush hush, are we sure it's that kind of secret? We like that. We'll have that. It's not yours anymore. Oh, there you go. This is why you should know it, apparently. The Vale of Rydal has an NGG13 Garrett. There you go. I don't know. It's a Garrett.
It's a handsome Garrett.
It's a very...
Very handsome Garrett.
They're waiting for Generation X to get on with it. I remember seeing, I think, didn't Laurie do a video of inside the sheds at Aberystwyth on its opening or something, and there were some interesting locomotives there, including one or two. I think it was a coffee pot, and some other potential early designs. Dave's saying there's between 30 and 50 locos in it.
Yeah.
Hilton's
Sounds
dead.
right.
He's officially died.
Is he sulking?
I think he's
Because-
sulking. I think it's because we told him that he had to talk about something he didn't know. Right.
Oh no.
Oh no. Any more? For any more? Are we going to wait until he comes back? I don't know. No, let's get on with it. Are you ready?
Okay. Modern day sleeping.
Modern day sleepers.
Modern day sleepers mixed.
I have no idea what he means by mixed, and he's run away. So there you are.
I have a feeling there was more text to that than.
No, that was literally what he sent me. Modern sleepers mixed.
So as far as I know, the sleepers now all Mark Vs. I think Akira Scale made them, or was it Revolution? One or the other.
I just meant I didn't phrase it correctly for you. I think I meant more like, you know what I should have said, Dan, was just luxury trains, like, you know, multiple day luxury trains.
Right.
Multiple day luxury trains. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I don't know.
It's a shame you said modern, because the only interesting one was like the 80s one, like the Royal Scotsman, because that had a real eclectic mix of carriages that you'll never ever see in Ready to Run.
Well, the Royal
because-
Scotsman still runs, so
But surely not the same coaches that it used to, because so many of them were wooden bodied. But,
I mean, it does have some pretty old rolling stock with it still.
I mean, also, when you say luxury trains, it's hard to put the Caledonian Sleeper into this. I haven't been on it, but I watched a YouTube video of someone who went on it about a week ago. Because the side effect of being ill is you sit and you complete YouTube. So you watch all sorts of random things you normally wouldn't. So I ended up watching this
I am
Scottish
done with
lady.
the internet.
Yeah, I watched this Scottish lady who does like travel vlogs, and she did this one, like they're all within Scotland, apart from she randomly goes, I had to go to London for the weekend, and I
Was
wanted
that,
to go and get a sleeper, and then and then she gets on it, and it's all really cramped and looks awful, like really awful. It's like,
Was
you
that
might as well
Ruth
go to London in a city
Ashling?
bag, it'd be more comfortable.
Dan,
Make
was
them
that Ruth Ashling?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, because she does some great like vlogs of
The
Scotland
first
that
video I
watch as
watched
well.
was when she started from somewhere like Stranraer or something, and she went to Thurso in a day.
Yeah,
And she said, "Oh, the last 3 hours of the journey were boring because it was dark." And it's like, but your first train was at 11 o'clock in the morning. Why didn't you just set off 3 hours earlier, and you would have had daylight all day?
maybe that's all she
You
could
just
get.
kind of think, is this to avoid peak time travel or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
really it was interesting.
I went on the Caledonian, and I'm actually going to be talking about it on a new sort of thing that I'm doing in a couple weeks' time. But I really like the Caledonian, and bear in mind, I've never done an overnight on a train, so it was my first experience of it. But I found that the overall quality of travel was really decent. Like Annie and I were both very impressed with the accommodation, the catering. I think we paid £300 for the both of us. It was about 150 each for the sleeper unit, and we weren't in like the super fancy one, but we had enough space that we could move around, and it was comfortable. We got it on the coach at like 11 at night in Edinburgh, and we were in London by 7 the next morning. So can't really say that we got to experience all the luxuries like the bar and stuff like that, because we were so exhausted that we just kind of went to bed and woke up and had breakfast and got off the train. But for what it was, I thought the Cali was a really awesome experience. Probably the best night of sleep we've both ever had, just because of like the motion of the train. It was really like calming and soothing as you were falling asleep.
Is this the bit you go, but it's just not the blue train?
I've not been on the blue train, so I wouldn't know. I've seen photos of the blue train, but the blue train is one thing. But if you want to talk South African, Rovos Rail, Pride of Africa, that is next level compared to blue train. Like that is an incredible luxury train.
Wow. I guess
I'm
the
gonna have
nearest
a look
thing
at
I've
that.
done to that is in the Steam Dreams tour last year, and they insist on having this air-conditioned bar on the rear of the train. So it was a Mark II that had just been completely gutted and just turned into this really funky bar with like sofas and things like that.
I love that.
It's just like,
that's cool.
This is the least heritage thing going, but it's 40 degrees outside, and this is the only air-conditioned carriage on the train. And it's like, we got held up because of a bridge strike. And basically that day, because it was a circular tour around Kent and then some Victoria and back to Victoria, and when we got back, a friend of mine was driving it, and he got off to be relieved by another driver, and he looked absolutely mashed after being on the engine in that heat, because it was in the middle of a heat wave. The miracle we were allowed to have a steam engine run at all. And I just got out of the air-conditioned bar, and I said, the air conditioning's great in there, and he just
But I love the idea of like repurposing rolling stock for just that, for modern amenities. Like, I don't have an issue with that.
The installation, doing it
cool.
to Mark IIs is fine, because Mark IIs, they all sound like shopping trolleys, and they ride a bit like shopping trolleys as well. They're awful. Like, if you ever do a heritage train in the UK, don't go on one with Mark II stock. It's like all the West Coast stuff is now Mark IIs because of the door lock issues, and it's like, yeah, you might as well go in a shopping cart. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Whereas a Mark I,
James,
I'm not a huge fan of them, but they're more comfortable.
James, have you done an overnight sleeper?
No, I do want to. Oh wait, no.
Are there?
No, I'm lying. I have done. I did. I've done it once on my second trip to Slovakia. So on a daily basis, there are several trains that travel from the capital city Bratislava to the other major city in the east, Košice, which is a 7.5-hour train journey, because it goes up the north and then comes back down. And
because you have to go to Germany first, right?
No.
Okay.
It's the other direction, mate. The other direction. Poland is north.
I'm just playing.
And yeah, the second time I came to Slovakia, we decided that we were going to visit a few people on the way. And to get to a halfway point, we had to do the overnight sleeper. And it was as much as you could expect from a Central European overnight train. It cost us €20 for the night.
That's
each.
not bad. That's not bad.
In each of the cabins sleeps 4, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
So it was two bunk in a cabin, and you book your bunk, and it's €20 for the night, and they supply you with standard scratchy bed linen and such. But it was lovely. I spent most of the night stood in the corridor with the window down, my head out of the train, like just enjoying the night scenery on a.
I was going to ask, were you drunk? But okay.
No,
fair enough.
No.
You're just a train guy.
I was just a train guy. That was the other train trip. I want to do it again. Actually, I want to do it again during the day, not at night, because I don't want to do the sleep. I want to, enjoy the day atmosphere. I do a lot of the drive, so it'd be nice to see it by rail and not have to, focus.
Yeah.
One day. So Aaron is mentioning Kiwi Rail in New Zealand is trying to restart the Southern service, and tickets are over 250 New Zealand dollars. Unlike the original service, current one does not reach my hometown. Well, then that's no good for you, then, is it?
Is 250 New Zealand dollars a lot of money?
No, it's 100 quid.
Okay.
I'm making that up. I don't know if it's exactly 100 quid, but it's definitely a lot.
It's 109. It's 109. Good job.
There you go. I've talked to Aaron enough that I instantly know the exchange rate.
Wow. I thought the exchange rate was you say something normal and Aaron says like 3 or 4 weird things.
That's usually the exchange.
That's the exchange. Or he's saying the Grand Hibernian in Ireland.
I think that would be very cool.
Is Ireland long enough for an overnight?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trains in Ireland are weird. I've only ever been on one once.
They do
But
this.
they buy other people's trains, but their tracks are wider, so the trains still seem really narrow. And then they have these aftermarket steps put on them that are just like they stick out.
Extensions.
It's like, yeah, it's like the trains have got little wings that people walk out to get onto the platform.
Jesus Christ. Okay, no. All right. Any more modern luxury sleeper stock? I mean, one thing I want to know: does the Orient Express still run?
Yes,
in Europe,
it does.
Because I don't. Does it still? Does there still a portion of it in the UK?
I don't know about.
There's a licensed train, I believe, which is a day trip train.
Right.
Called the VSOE.
Okay.
Okay, so you would take that as like a part of the tour.
It's usually like circular tour, like day trips from London.
Oh right. Okay. Yes, there is going to be a second Orient Express.
Well, Rick has been drinking.
Yeah. Well, I mention it because I seem to remember that it used to be able to travel into London, over to Dover or Southampton or whichever docks it would transfer to, over the Channel to France, where you would either join another train and then start doing the grand tour off to Istanbul or Constantinople.
Constantinople.
Does that mean he's not coming on then?
No, Rob is not coming on. A more modern version, 50 or 60 style. Interesting.
That's cool. That's
cool.
I'd love to do it. There's a couple really interesting railway routes that like are almost like must-dos. Recently, I watched Chris Tarrant. He's got that railway series, a couple of them on YouTube, and he did that Norwegian trip with the iron ore from Rinka will tell me the name of the place in Sweden in the chat. But that trip from Sweden to Norway looks like an absolutely breathtaking trip. Mm-hmm. Not that you can go on it because it's freight, but pretty cool. Kiruna. That's in Narvik. There we go. That's the one. It looks absolutely incredible and just immensely powerful locos. Those big electrics. Wow, what a sight!
Yeah, I agree, Rink. I'm seeing a lot more sleeper trains popping up. Even especially out of Bratislava as well. They're now offering services through to Berlin, which is actually a very recent thing. You used to have to stop off directly in Prague or in Vienna to be able to get a connection. Okay. Okay, I think we've exhausted sleepers.
Well, let's move on. Yeah.
Right.
Next.
Hang on, who was that?
Oh, we're running out.
That's you, James.
We're running out.
Oh no.
This is where you get the DMU one.
Hey! 90s DMUs. Well, I mean, I put this one up there because I only have one to talk about, and then I'm just going to let everybody else cause chaos. Can anyone guess?
What you're going to talk about?
158.
The 158. No, but there's also there's the 156s. There's HSTs. Do the 125s? Do they technically count?
150s, as Ori
150s,
said.
yeah, 150s, 321s, 158s are definitely up there. Oh, Dan's done his thing. Where's the comment? Dan needs to drop out now. He's left the chat because he doesn't want to talk about DMUs.
It's fine. I'll talk about DMUs with you.
No, so I mean, you can't. I can't avoid DMUs. Oh, look at that!
Oh, he's not wearing pants. That's why he switched off his camera.
I assure you, I am.
Like, oh, crap.
Whoa,
I don't want to. No. Whoa. Sit down.
It might be past the watershed.
I just thought I'd get a visual aid. I don't know why the hell I bought this. I was bored on a train to London. Sorry, I've cut across you entirely, James. I was on a train to London one day, and I was just literally, yeah, we know it's the wrong scale for you. Live with it. If it was TT, he would love it.
Charlie.
My moral for life is don't go on a train at night when you can't see anything out the windows and Clark Rail works. Don't do it because you'll end up buying shit.
I thought you were going to say you end up in places you shouldn't be. 158 got me lost in got me in London when I was supposed to be going somewhere completely different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was supposed to go back to my college or my university dorm after a night out. And drunk me got on the wrong train because I instantly went, oh, I recognize that train. That will take me home.
Sorry, James, I'm listening.
And I was right. The train would take me home to my hometown, not to where my dorm is. And I fell asleep on said 158, went all the way past Basingstoke and hit London Waterloo at 2:00 in the morning or something stupid like that.
Oh my god!
And ended up 250 miles away from my university.
Well, I blame the British railway system for that, James, not you.
I blame cheap drinks on a Wednesday night.
So the British railway system.
Cheers.
My dad once told me a similar story.
No, we do not.
He got on the last train, I think it was, to get home to Aylesbury from Marylebone in like the early 70s, and he'd had a skinful. He fell asleep, and he was woken up, and he realised he had missed his stop. So he went to get on the first train like 4 hours later to go back home, and he fell asleep again and ended up back in Marylebone. Like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's brilliant.
The disappointment. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Johnny, you are correct. The 170s do count.
It still counts. Very
Yeah,
close.
1999 counts. That's before the Millennium Bug, and we all died.
What? Pesta.
What is pesa? Pesa? Tribo.
Tribo. It's coming up with MMA fighter, pesto.
Okay, you spelt that wrong because I've definitely got a locomotive here, or a DMU rather. It looks cool.
No,
it looks
because
really
I
cool,
put it's because I put pesta instead of pesa.
Are you hungry?
I am 100% hungry. Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, it's decent. It's decent.
Yeah, no, I like that. It looks very modern, though. Yeah, I was going to say,
2007.
it's very modern, 2007.
Bad, Lucas. Bad.
DMU story. Is it a DMU story, Aaron, or I'm not telling it? I'm dropping stuff.
Is that going to be a theme for another stream? Your best railway-related stories.
Yes. I just said mine, so I'm done. There you go.
Oh, and you don't have any
All right,
more?
spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Go, Hilton, go.
Yay! 80s Scotland diesels.
Okay. Fine.
I mean, I'm.
Diesels were in Scotland.
There were 26s. There were 20s. Dan's gonna correct me. He's gonna be like, actually, no, the 26s were retired by then. So like,
I just think it's boring that Scotland had some of the most interesting steam workings in the 80s.
They
Lots
did.
of groundbreaking stuff, and yet you pick diesels, unfortunately.
I mean, I could have picked steam, but like, we'd just be talking about how we needed the Great Marquess again. So
No,
and it
actually,
comes up like what?
no, we wouldn't be talking about that. We'd be
He stood up
Took
again.
off his pants again.
Yeah, so Ori's saying just show your layout at this point. Oh dear, what's he going to show us now?
You see, Dan, I really want one. I
An
really want one.
NB.
actually, you know what? I'm
Dan,
going to do something a bit. Hang on a sec.
He didn't. He's
That-
got pants on.
I'm going to have to rehang this after the stream, but this is how far the
What?
obsession gets.
Oh, that's beautiful.
that is stunning.
That's gorgeous.
That
This
is
is what hangs in my
amazing.
living room. And I
Yes,
actually
that
have a
is
set of four
absolutely
smaller
amazing.
ones of it through its life.
Dan, is there any chance you have another like spare version of Maud hanging around somewhere?
I had a second one. I sold it to my best mate.
Do you want a Deltic for Maud?
No, that's not.
Hang on.
It's a bit like saying, do you want it?
Celtic?
Maud is my childhood, man.
No, I know. You know, there was one the other day on Footplate, and
What do they want
thought
for it?
was it's like £130.
Bargain.
And yeah, that's what I thought, and I just missed it. Like I just missed it. So J36, absolutely stunning logo, especially that one, Dan. Like that
Yeah,
livery
so-
is just
Yeah.
like mint, absolutely mint.
But that's how it went on the main line in the 80s as well. So that's
Yeah,
what
that's
you need
super
for your- you can put it.
And the
in
Great
your-
Marquess.
That's a lovely
Yeah.
logo.
But the one you need above all the others is the Black Six. 447.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I remember this. That's a wild little locomotive. So yes, Dad, I do.
That was the one that brought steam back to the West Highlands.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
George Stephenson.
Dan, you tell the story.
So in 1984, British Rail decided to run the West Highlander, with the train we now know as the Jacobite. And the engine that they brought in for the first season was Black 44767, which is Stephenson Link Motion Black 5.
Oh,
And it's the only Black 5 type, as far as I know, that we haven't had as a ready-to-run model yet. But it's a solitary locomotive. There was only ever one.
It's a one-off.
So
About
it's
that.
Hornby,
Yeah, actually.
Hornby, crack
Hornby,
on.
come on.
I mean, they were supposed to do a load of variations of the Black 5,
They
right?
never announced that one.
But no, but they've done. I think they've announced like 4 different versions so far.
Like, yeah,
V5?
and things, and different boiler types and stuff.
Yeah.
Not that one.
Oh, that's such a miss. That looks great.
Yeah, it's mad. You know, I think that the sad thing is that if they were to do it, it would require quite a bit of work. Dan, correct me if I'm wrong. Just in terms of that motion.
Yeah, complete new motion of a type that's never been done in Ready to Run before.
So it would be. You could use the body for sure, but like the motion would have to be redone for that.
So I know many years ago, Bill Bedford used to do an etch to be able to make the valve gear, but I've never seen one made. Yes, it is a Rod Harrison. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, Johnny's here. I didn't even notice it. Hey, Johnny.
We asked the.
Coming to correct everything, Scott.
I know now. James. By the way, guys, if you sorry, small plug, James, for the Shunting Yard. If you guys are interested in Scottish stuff, we are going to be having a very special episode in the next 2 weeks. The 5th of June, we will be doing a Scottrail episode, I guess.
Can Maud come?
Johnny joining us.
Yes.
And, yes, Maud can come. You can come. I think I'm gonna have to kick out James and Rob, so it can be myself, you, Johnny, and Jack. It's gonna be a very brilliant Scottish episode. So if you guys wanna, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, you know what to do.
Do so. Aaron, I have to push back on this. Aren't they all technically unique? Like, didn't they change little things on every single Black 5? Which is why it's impossible to make them all. This is the most. Yeah, because the valve gear is different. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess it is in that regard. Regardless, Scottish diesels. I mean, I don't need to say any more. Hold on. Let's take a walk around.
Oh.
Those are some lovely steam engines. Look at that going good.
We're getting there. Hold on. There we go.
So that's what he's looking at every time he looks up.
Isn't it a sight? Come on.
It's a great sight. That wall must be hanging on for dear life.
If you'd travel behind that many in real life, you'd be a main man.
A main man. Is that a reference to the bashers?
The bashers.
That many in real life could pull the earth.
Where is Thomas?
Whoa.
I suppose they did wait.
Peachy's off. No, Peachy's not off. Oh.
Yes, he is. He said he's off. Got to go, guys. Ready.
Just Peachy.
To set Camelot up at Scarborough show tomorrow. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Have a good one, and good luck with the show.
Oh yeah, good luck. A bit late tonight. A bit of a long day in the shed today. I wish I had a shed.
Yeah. Me too.
Black 5s are like the Midland versions of Great Western 460s, very little changes, and they all look the same. No, they changed lots of things on individual Black 5s. Great Western 460s were the same. Look, each like I'm saying like the Black 5 as a class had loads of little differences, but if you took a hull, most of them were the same. You take a castle, most of them were the same. They weren't all completely,
wrong. They built like 10 castles and then changed a load of bits, and then built another 10 and then change a load of bits.
But
same with the stars.
They changed loads of. We'll get to 460s in a minute.
Oh God. Have we
Oh yeah, they're coming up, right?
Bad
Yes.
topic?
It might be your topic.
It's not going to be my topic because I just talked about my topic.
I think yes, you've done your last topic. Speaking of, if you've got anything else you want to talk about, any other topics you want Hilton to talk about specifically, throw it in the chat. Rinka, thank you very much for joining us.
Bye, Rinka. Good luck
tomorrow. Good luck. Don't know where that is.
He's working on a layout.
Is it far?
It's in a suburb of Johannesburg called Florida. So yeah, Mar-a-Lago.
It's not noon. King Ori says he wants to see Era 1. we could do Era 1, and it will last for 2 seconds.
There's a lot to talk
Okay,
about.
spin that wheel because we got 15 minutes. Let's go, boys. Whose turn is it?
Dan.
No, that's too easy for him. I think you guys need to swap.
Well, hang on a sec.
Hang on. You had your topic. You had your topic. So I think it's only fair that he has his topic.
I just need to double check something. Oh, they're in 1927, so I can talk about it. So in 1927.
So, in
1927, the London Midland Railway, they went to Bear Peacock and said, "We know best."
Oh, did they?
Build us this engine with our parts. And Helgen have made a model of it, and you can get a wonderful sound file from it by asking Hilton.
Oh.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
Believe it or not, in mythology, this Midland engine, it's not a proper Garrett because it wasn't built.
In mythology.
Design. In mythology, it sounds exactly like a Great Western Prairie.
Yeah, it does, and that's a shame.
And that is how I gave Hilton the ick on his Garrett.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
It's okay, dude.
It's all right.
Let's
The proper
never
Garrett's
talk
fine.
about it again.
No, let's never do. But hang on. 20s Midland, does that mean we can talk about the 1P that is green?
No, because that's 1883.
Is it really that old?
Yes.
Christ.
And we talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Oh, this is true. This is very
Yeah.
Can we
true.
talk about the Licky Banker?
The
The
Licky
what?
Banker. It's a pity no one's making a model of it.
The what?
Big Bertha, but
All right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. I don't know. I don't know much about Bromsgrove. Oh no, it's in south of Birmingham and it's a big hill because you couldn't engineer the railway right. So you have to get this big engine to go and push the trains up the hill to get them up
When
to
did you know
the you say. And that's all I've got to say about it, really.
okay, Charlie makes a good point. Bye.
Tinty.
Shinty,
That's a
what
yeah.
Thomas should have been.
Whoa.
Oh.
Hang on, wait, I've got one of those.
Me too.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Thomas.
No, I have a Ginty.
I don't have a Ginty. I have a Thomas though.
Do you? Do you
I
now?
do.
Do you? All right.
I do. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Moving on.
So I know that was last week.
there you go, Charlie. Get it.
Agreed.
A really useful engine.
But not as useful as a pannier tank, I'm guessing.
Oh, why did we bring it in there?
Got one of those too. One down.
Royal Scots.
800,
Royal Scots.
500 and something
There
to
you
go.
go.
Oh yeah, Royal Scot. Oh yeah, that was it.
Royal
yeah, that
Scots.
was the other thing that the LMS did. So they wrote to the Great Western and said, please can we have some castle drawings because they wanted to build their own castle, and the Great Western refused. This is a true story. He did this.
He's
And
gone.
then, Then they wrote to the Southern, and the Southern were more obliging and sent them a set of Lord Nelson drawings. So they made an engine that looks nothing like a Lord Nelson and doesn't perform anything like as well as a Lord Nelson.
I mean, it's got the deflectors, and that's about it.
It was so good that Stania had to rebuild it. So good.
So good. Hilton's gone. Hilton's gone.
Hilton has gone.
People are loving the gin teas. Right, Aaron, this is right up your street. Fowler 4 Fs, 3 Fs, and 7 Fs.
What's that look?
Dude, can we not do this again? Dan, why are you here?
Wait, what did I miss? Some good information being given to our listeners or watchers?
Just think how much easier this would have been if we'd sat here for 2 hours talking about tariffs.
I mean, this would have been so much worse.
We didn't have to do 2 hours, to be fair. I'm just sinking lower and lower into my seat as this evening goes on. And every time Dan brings up the
check, just remember what the menu was before they turned up.
I don't see what your problem is, Hilton.
Talking of chefs and things, so my boss, the company owner, came over the other day, and insists on everybody coming out for dinner. So we went to this posh restaurant, and there was only like 5 options on the menu, and I was sat there googling it, and my colleagues were looking really, really shifty around the table, just like, oh, "Do you know what this is? Do you know what that is?" I was like, "This is ridiculous. Last time we came here, you could get steak and chips, and it's not on the menu. It's all pretentious stuff." So what I did was I went, I'll be right back. And I went and collared one of the waitresses and was just like, "Is there any chance the chef could rustle up like a steak and chips?" It would go down really well with all of my colleagues who have come to this dinner. And they went, "Oh, there's a whole nother menu that we didn't give you." Just like, "Yes, bring those in now." And I went back, sat down next to one of my colleagues who was absolutely panicking about this. And I said to him, "If you, in this moment, could wish for anything, just close your eyes and wish for it." And he was like, "What?" It's just like, just close your eyes and wish for something in this moment to make it less stressful. And he went, "Okay." And in that moment, the waitress came in with this wad of these new menus that all had steak and chips as an option in them.
Oh, God, I need a steak.
Yeah. Anyway, we were doing a game that James has to finish.
Yeah, okay. Fine.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't think this format works.
No.
I think we need to think of a new way. Yeah.
This is all testing, chaps. This is all testing. We're learning as we go.
We're learning as we go.
We're not going to get it right every time, but thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah, I can see from the numbers this is doing great. Maybe there's something you guys can suggest for the pick a wheel thing, and we can incorporate that.
You know what it's going to be, don't you? You got to be careful. You got to be careful with it because they'll say, "Oh, make them all Thomas characters." And you have to talk about each Thomas character. And it's
No, we're not talking about Thomas characters.
We're not going to do that. That's not going to happen.
Oh no, our viewers have just dropped again.
Actually, they went up.
Talk about the blue thing. Talk about it.
What, the news?
Right, that's me putting in my resignation. I'm done. Thanks, guys.
It's a good thing we've just replaced you.
How about no wheel?
How about no wheel?
How about no... Yeah, I think that it was a trial. It was an absolute trial.
I think the wheel works. In all honesty and openness, I think the wheel works. However, perhaps our discussion...
I love how you do... when you go into that mode, you go into your full-on presenting your own channel mode. You go,
yeah, I do.
But we have no idea what we're doing.
You know what, guys? We don't know what we're doing here. That's half the fun of it, isn't it?
It's the entire fun of it. That's the. I don't know. I think I like the wheel. We need to think of some better way to use it. So we'll figure something out.
Anyway,
Anyway,
what we need to do is have a more of a Cards Against Humanity approach.
oh, don't.
You put random things on the wheel, but not complete the wheel. But just go, and this is the prompt talk bit where we spin the wheel and just have to talk for a couple of minutes about whatever is on it.
We'll try that. Put that in the Rob. Put that in the calendar.
We clearly get derailed all the time, though.
Yeah, but
That's
this
the
is
whole point.
directional derailing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. All right. Well, we're doing it again. We're derailed.
That's the point. Dan, somebody said at the beginning, are you here to derail the shunting yard?
The devil is in the so say the devil's in the details. The devil's in the digression.
And I digress.
To be fair, you were the one talking about steak and chips.
How was that relevant? I heard chef, and I don't know where that came from.
Oh. You have to
We were
digress.
talking about 20s Midland, and then suddenly talking about steak and chips, and I got hungry.
All right. Okay. So, what was this one?
Nothing. There was absolutely nothing.
Oh, was it the end?
That was it.
That was it. Finished.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
it wasn't.
well,
It wasn't.
all right.
4-6
Okay. No. Let's not even go into it. We
There's
understand
no
the format doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Let's have some open questions, guys.
We've got
Come on.
a few
Swarm them
minutes. Throw some. It's ended up in a bloody turntable pit.
At least it's been fun, Rob.
It won't spin anymore, so that's one thing.
Johnny says, James, you, Rob, and Hilton. What? Wait, what?
You, Robin
I
Hilton,
missed it.
derail more than a crash. How does that make sense? It's the middle of the day for you. Are you drunk?
He probably is.
Fly Hilton over, make the pod a drinking game. Dan's bingo card with the shots.
Whoa. Whoa. Double.
I mean, okay. I'm
Oh,
down.
man.
I've got some stuff that will blow your socks off.
Tell you what, Cinco de Mayo, we will have a tequila evening, and I don't even know if we'll be able to end the stream.
Wait, is Cinco de Mayo on a Thursday?
I don't know. At some point in the near future, it will be.
Oh my days, yes, Cinco de Mayo is a Thursday.
There you go.
Oh no!
Everybody!
Hang on, that's the Scotch Rail stream. So you have to drink.
No, that's
Scotch.
the 5th of... No, that's the 5th of June. Cinco
That's
de Mayo
5th of
is the
June.
5th.
Oh, we've
May.
got another year. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm checking. It's a Tuesday.
There you go. RJ's right. We've got 350 days to prepare. It's all good.
RJ, where have you been the entire stream? We need this. We need this.
Cinco de Scotch.
Cinco de Scotch.
Yes.
Oh, the April Fool's episode on buses.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
I know
no,
nothing about buses. I literally know nothing about buses.
have
I think
to-
buses are so boring.
I completely agree with you. I know. The
Well,
second
before I
most
started,
boring
you know,
mode of transport.
they sold a Birmingham bus, and the top deck lights don't work in loads of them. So every so often, I get an angry Brummy who'll ring me up on the phone and be like, "Yeah, my top deck lights don't work. What are you gonna do about it? I can't see the passengers on the top deck." And I go,
But
"Oh,
do they serve steak and chips?
steak and chips?"
Steak and chips, bro. Yeah? Do steak and chips.
Gotta love steak and chips.
I can see us down there, crashing and burning.
Oh,
I
no.
think the views are up. The views are up.
The views are up, people.
It was a mention of steak. There isn't really steak.
RJ, how is that even possible, dude?
What?
How?
Oh, that's a lot of money, RJ.
That's a lot of money. Like, is it more of the stuff from your latest video? That's all I will ask. Because that seemed like that was worth a lot.
Rob.
My perfect Sunday.
What's your perfect Sunday?
That is such a hinge question.
All right, James,
Like
you
a
go
walk in
first.
the countryside, followed by a roast in a country pub.
I mean, it's
Great.
gotta be a roast in a country pub with a pint, hasn't it, on a Sunday? Nice
That sounds
roam,
good. Sounds
nice
good.
roam in the countryside, ramble around, end up in a country pub.
I suppose.
A ramble in the countryside. How
Yes,
delightful.
oh, I'm so sorry.
Young bears in Hampshire, what?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just going for a ramble with the boys in the countryside. Relax.
They used to say they booked a table, but they hadn't really, the ragamuffins. We had to go and see with the landlord for a snub.
Yeah.
Okay, James, I'll do you one. Here you go. Perfect Sunday. In South Africa, generally, Sundays are reserved, at least in my house, for Formula One. Salt and vinegar chips, a big, big plate of salt and vinegar chips, and lots of beer. That is my perfect Sunday. Wake up late, have eggs and bacon, sit down, and then just enjoy the Formula One. That's
And then you finish the day with the Dutch national anthem.
You say that.
Sounds very difficult for
You
South
say
Africa,
that.
right?
Haven't been hearing it much lately.
To be fair, sometimes it's the Australian anthem lately. So
I mean, that it could be
not all that
worse.
bad.
Australians. And that stupid Zach
Parents.
Brown. Yeah, Lando, yeah.
No, I don't think Zach Brown's all about Lando anymore. But anyways, let's see.
You've got to
gonna
have
be
a
an
number 2 player.
Tom, that sounds like hell.
That sounds like hell.
Yeah, that doesn't
Ah.
sound. Dan, what's your
Is it-
perfect Sunday though?
Yeah,
Was it a
I'm,
ramble in the countryside with the boys?
I'm starting down.
Trying to find a way to not have Sunday dread. Literally wake up. Oh, I've got to go work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Great. That's what it's about at the moment. I don't know. A perfect Sunday is a Sunday where you actually get up and do some modelling.
You know, the worst thing about Sundays. The worst thing about Sundays is what I call the Sunday scaries, which is like after about like 4 p.m. in the afternoon, like the sun starts getting low and you just know Monday's coming.
Yes,
and
we call it Sunday
it has
dread.
this, the proper dread that comes with like what lies ahead. It's a sadness. It's a great sadness. Unless there's Formula One at like 9 o'clock because we're racing in America again.
Again, yeah. Yeah, I can't do it. Like, oh, we're going to have to axe the Italian Grand Prix because there's too many races in Europe. Fuck Austin! Heaven forbid some Texans don't have to, have a. Oh, just.
I completely agree. Completely agree.
Just bring back Indy and fuck the rest of America.
And
Nothing
there
but
goes
train.
our right.
Nothing else.
Completely agree. Working on traction engines, I actually envy that. Aaron. I really have been getting into traction engines recently.
Actually, come to think of it, there is a perfect Sunday down near me at the moment that can happen occasionally. Now, there's a heritage railway about 25 minutes drive from me, and they have the only working Caledonian engine that is in Caledonian colours that occasionally comes out. On the days when it's running, you go for a train ride down to the pub, go and have a roast dinner, and then look around the second-hand bookshop, then back on the train for a bit of Cali thrash back to the starting point. That's a good Sunday.
That sounds nice.
That sounds good. Yeah, that sounds real good.
Spa Valley.
The one. Yeah, Spa Valley.
No. Spa Valley.
Dave, perfect Sunday spent at model show. I mean, it's a good Sunday. I don't think I like the damage it might do to my wallet. And knowing that I have to leave said model show and go to work the next day. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think that about sums it up, honestly.
I suppose that's one joy that you haven't experienced yet, Hilton. It's like a proper British model show. Like actually...
No, I haven't. You know, I tell you what. On my way to dropping off my cousin
Bingo
at the Inverness.
Wow.
Dan, to answer your question, on my way to dropping off my cousin at Inverness, so he was picking up a rental and heading north. Well, Annie and I were heading west to the Isle of Skye. I saw a modeling show that was on exhibition there at the Inverness Hotel or something or other like that. Anyways, we stopped in there. It was a very small show, but that was my very little taste of sort of British modeling at the Inverness show, and it was really cool. I just kind of wish I had been to a bigger show. I'd love to do Model Rail Scotland or Ali Pali or something like that one day.
Yeah, I think Model Rail Scotland would be right up your alley. Ali Pali's more of a trade show, I'd say. It's a fantastic venue, but there's more trade than layouts.
I hear you. Okay.
It'd be interesting to see what happens with Warnerley going forward, because that's potential to become the one-stop shop. Now it's under new management. It's just, it's lots of potential, but we'll see. But
Johnny,
I have a problem next year though, because it's in the wrong time of year.
I'd love to, but
actually
we
this
have
could work in your favour, Hilt, because if you come over, Model Rail Scotland has been delayed next year because the venue has been booked up for the United Nations for like 3 weeks, so it's going to be a month later than normal. But it's actually the weekend before Ali Pali, so you could be in the UK for a week and do both shows for the first time in history, and probably the last.
It's
when's that?
It's not a bad idea. It's really not a bad idea. I'd love to, but like the reality is our plan is Japan next year. So
when is that?
Unfortunately,
I'd love to, but I'd be divorced before I'm even married. He says.
Annie.
Aaron's getting really irritated with us. I can see that.
Yeah, I know.
Aaron, calm down.
I'm making him wait.
Why has he got a question?
He had a question, and we've been trundling. And that's the end of the show. I'm sorry, that's all we've got time for.
Oh well, we'll tackle that next week, Aaron. Too bad.
Oh, you could do the Sam's Trains and go, if I've missed anything, put it in the comments and I'll probably ignore it and not mention it next month.
I was going to say, won't mention it ever. No, okay, so Aaron asks, is asking what our biggest modelling regret is. I actually submitted mine to Chadwick. So I did. He asked for a 30 second clip of what your what you might have done wrong or what you might have regretted in the hobby. And for me, it was not reading up on DCC control and the components that I wanted to use and actually doing some homework. And I went full Magpie mode and just bought components, tried to do it myself, first time, and I wasted almost 200 quid on components just by blowing it up before I actually got something that worked. I learned something, but I regret not doing the research first.
Sure.
Where's the fun in that, though?
Well, it's difficult to explain to your frugal wife over and over again. Yeah, honey, I blew it up again. Yeah, honey, I need to buy that again. Yeah, this is the 4th time I have to buy that component. You know, it's bad enough. So yeah, for me, not reading.
I hear you. I think my biggest modeling regret is, and it's not been a long time, but I can tell you that I wish I had found my niche a little bit earlier before I bought things that I don't necessarily need. I think I find myself in a fairly difficult position now because I've bought locomotives that I really liked, and I have no way of moving them on really in South Africa just because they fetch such a low price locally. So I'm kind of stuck with a collection of locomotives that I really like, but they don't really fit what I'm doing here. So I would say I wish I had kind of focused my interest in the hobby a little bit more before I began this whole damn journey.
Yeah.
Dan, what about you?
Mine is remarkably similar. I went through a phase through the tail end of COVID where I got very inspired to do and build a Canadian N-gauge layout and collected loads of stuff, but some really rare bits. And yeah, when it came to go, actually, I'm never going to do this, and selling it off, I got pennies on the dollar for most of it.
I bet.
I would have never bought any of it, to be fair. I had some really nice stuff, but yeah, some of it I'd never see again. I had some things that I couldn't find pictures of on the internet that were that rare, and I was like, oh, it exists because it's in my hand. So those couple of bits fetched okay money, but they're so rare that people weren't even looking for them. So it's like, I think that's probably it. Because I did mull over it when you first said it, and I thought it's probably going to be things that I sold that I really liked. There was a couple of bits that I had that stand out. I had a Cambrian Railways engine in O-gauge that was a former demonstrator for a kit builder, and this thing had been finished off to a really high standard, and I really miss having that engine. It was a fantastic piece of kit. I miss my NGG16, but none of them are regrets in the same way as that was quite a beast. But no, buying the Canadian N-gauge, that was a mistake. And I have very little of it left, but
I think, Dan, the thing is, like, there are mistakes, and like, I mean, you're not none of us are in like a massive financial ruin or anything over these mistakes that we've made, right? But like, you've learned something, you've explored something, and I think if you hadn't scratched the itch, you probably wouldn't have felt satisfied, right? In many ways.
Possibly. It was a weird time because my employer actually suspended me and tried to, well, they got rid of me through like stealth, basically. I took them to tribunal for it, but so I don't want to go into detail about it. But I had a period of time where I was at home a lot, but on full pay. And I spent far too much time researching and buying stuff and thinking, oh, I'm all that, when actually it was just one aspiration too far.
Yeah. I
get that.
The hardest thing of all was, of course, when I first came to Rapido, my boss, he made a prophecy that came true. He goes, within 12 months, you'll be modeling in 00. And it's like, no, I won't. And then the realization that if I ever want to do anything interesting, the only way to make a business case for it would be in 00 because the market is so much bigger than N. So that's where I've gone. And it's like, the funds I used for that Canadian stuff would have been far better just sat in my bank account, creating interest, and then gone straight to 00. But yeah.
I hear you.
Oh, I get that. I get that completely.
Oh, but he's saying that he regrets swapping from N to O.
What?
Really, Rob? This is news. We need to have a whole episode talking about this next week.
To be fair, if he hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have built one of the engines that I built.
This is true. This is true. We're stepping on the proverbial butterfly here.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think I could see you modeling in, Rob.
I can with this space.
I can. It's more reliable than Tom Wells.
He'd have Omega in the layout, but I'm not trying to encourage this. I think, Rob, you're doing an amazing job with your 009, and you should stay on track, if you will, with that, because it's really good.
009.
I mean, not 009. Just the whiskey. Sorry, NG7. Sorry, my bad.
RJ is saying biggest regret is not doing 00HO. Too late now. I mean, is it ever too late to have a hobby within the hobby?
I mean, have you seen RJ's stuff? He's got an amazing collection.
It's amazing collection. It really is amazing. Yeah.
I suppose that is a whole deep dive topic. Talk about scratching all the itches.
Show should be on regret. All right, let's get the whiskey out for that one.
Definitely get the whiskey. For
Why not do it on the positive spin and do a show on aspirations, the things you aspire to do?
That's actually not a bad one. We could do both. We'll start off with regrets, cover that in 10 minutes, and then quickly move on to aspirations.
So we can get a nice pie for our Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we can round it off by showing off the models that we bought for a layout that we'll never build a layout to go with the model.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like I'm seriously considering O-Gauge.
I suppose you got rid of your Garrett though, so you don't have the model for a layout that you'll never have.
It's true. All right.
Last comment before we drop off. So yeah, the thought of trying to sell it all too scary. I'm slowly being able to scratch the British Euro itch through that Depot and NG7 stuff. Yeah, I can understand that.
I saw RJ's Terrier the other day, and I thought, wow, that looks really good.
It's really good.
So I'm glad you're scratching the itch.
Yes, definitely worth scratching an itch. Lukash, I will save your question for the next stream, and I'll make sure to have that set up for the next one. But thank you very much for dropping it in. One quick shout out from Dave. Shout out to Statfold Barnes Spectacle of Steam on June 7th and 8th. If you want to see one of the 37 Daves, go there. Anything to shout out in the coming weeks, gents? Or in the coming week, should I say?
I'd say it's Raillex this weekend in
Raillex,
which is a good show if you like building kits and things like that. There's lots of bespoke traders tend to go there with parts and stuff like that. Much easier than trying to work out what a check is and send it in the post to half of these people. That's literally turning up the cash, buying things. So yeah, good show historically. I'm expecting it to be just as good as normal.
Ori's saying the Corus Railway has a gala this weekend.
Oh, cool. Wish I could
So
have
that
been.
could be interesting. For your 80s, 80s Welsh.
Maybe I could learn something.
Yeah, maybe. I can't think of anything that's happening this weekend. Or anything else. I might get some modelling done. That's about it.
And Monaco Grand Prix, of course.
And the Monaco Grand Prix.
Oh, the most boring Grand Prix of the year. Anyway,
They're too big now.
GWSO Gala as well. That might be worth an attendance.
That's cool. That sounds fun. Enjoy.
Go, Charlie. Okay, I think the social batteries have officially run out.
We tried, guys. Okay, so I just want to say, we're trying new things all the time on the stream to keep it interesting, keep it fun. This week we thought like the spin the wheel thing on the Eras Talk would work. It clearly didn't land as perhaps we hoped it would. And it's all about refinement. So if you guys have suggestions for, what we should talk about and where we should kind of go with things, please do, drop us a comment either in Discord or here in the comment section. That would be really cool. This is honestly like a passion project. I think for all of us, we do this because we love to talk about trains and chat trains with you guys. So it's not necessarily something that we want to be like a massive thing. It's just a good time, but of course we want that content to be enjoyable for you too. So if you do have some suggestions as to what we'd like to talk about, please do drop them in the comments, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And no Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, no, please, no. We've done that for the year. That's done. Can we wait another 5 years for the next landmark anniversary? That'll do. Unless anyone buys anything for stupid amounts of money on the auction, I'd actually like to know where you got the money for that. Try a phone in, either video or not, but odd people jumping in can show that. So keep an eye out. It's something we've actually been discussing. We just need to figure out some logistics. But actually, that is one thing we have been discussing. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, RJ, thank you very much for joining us, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think we're going to sign off there. So just going to say thank you very much for everybody for joining us. As always, a good 2 hours of ranting and disillusional disorganization is exactly what you come here for anyway. So what else do you want? Get a cartoon lip sync at the phone. God, that's memories. No, we're not doing that. No. We're not doing that. That just doesn't. No, that doesn't work. Right, Dan. Thank you very much for joining us for your first official stream.
Low energy stream.
As a host. What was that one?
Low energy stream.
Low energy stream. Well, then bring your A game for the next one.
I think the brainstorm took up most of the battery for the week.
No, I think we'll be all good. I think next week is it's you three, isn't it? So Rob is back and I'm disappearing. So,
however, will we cope?
I'm hosting again.
Probably better. Hilton is hosting 2 weeks in a row. This is going to be interesting. I'm traveling to the opposite side of the country, so keep me awake for a few hours would be nice, please.
I got you. Don't worry, bro.
So you got to think of all the things to. Are you driving?
Yes.
Okay, so if we say things that offend you, that'll keep you awake on your long drive.
I mean, it would do. Yes.
That's something to
throw it in.
Think of all the most offensive things you could say to James. Drop them in the comments next week's stream.
Yeah, because I won't be able to respond to them.
No,
because I'm driving.
You can simmer on them like a teapot on a stove.
Like a kettle on rails.
All right.
On that,
let's wrap this up, James.
Dan,
where can people find you?
Oh wait, hang on. What are you doing?
I was just trying to get this done. Let's go. Come on.
Dan, go.
What? Oh, what? All right. Bye.
He's gone. The pants are off. If you want to
pants are off. And it's go.
Oh,
it's go.
You just keep pulling your pants off while you're sitting down. What the hell's going on?
He's just standing up and pulling them down, I swear.
To be fair, I am actually wearing trousers. So there we go.
Oh, look at you, lad. So comfy.
I know, right?
Call
just
me
no slippers away from being Dan's trains.
All right, Dan. Where can people find you?
Oh, I have a link tree. So you can find me. You can use all my links apart from if you're in Sweden. So yeah, bit of a neat joke.
That's very.
No, I'm not on OnlyFans yet, but I've got YouTube, multiple Instagrams, and yeah, all available on Linktree, which hopefully will be in the description to make life simple.
Amazing. Hilton, where
Of
can
your
people find you?
Instagram.
Yeah, your Instagram.
Yeah. No, well, you can't find Dan on my Instagram, thank God.
Just in the comments.
Unfortunately, you can probably find Dan in the comments of mine, and then you can find his link tree. Anyways, you can find me on Proper Chuffed on Instagram and Proper Chuffed on YouTube. Again, thank you so much, guys. And just want to shout out Phil again as our moderator. He's always been a legend.
Absolute legend. Absolute legend. Awesome.
James?
Anyone else for anyone else?
No, just you, James. Where do people
Just me. Little Western Railway on YouTube and the Little Western Model Railway on Instagram. Go and find me. Send me a message. I might respond. I might not. And join the Discord. We haven't said it once. This
join the
evening.
Discord.
Go and join the Discord. Smash the Discord button. Come and join us. Ask some questions. Cause some chaos. We love it. So I think with that, I'm going to say have a good week. Have a good week yourself, Tom. If you've got any news that pops up during the week, feel free to let us know. I will make sure that Hilton mentions it at some point next week. He's going to have to do the news. News! I love how that's stuck. I love it. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us, guys. And we will speak to you next week. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye.